After working with Codex, I'm noticing how much Claude is eating the session time. I just started working half an hour ago, and it's already at 10% of my 5-hour session. And I'm working with 4.6, not even with Opus 5. And with Opus 5, it's even worse. Codex can orchestrate, and barely moves the session. Look, I'll show you my chats. Look at this one. There is one session here that orchestrated 900 chats inside of it. All autonomously, all while I slept, just following the harness. Kickstarting something like this with Claude getting very hard. It's like he's constantly stopping. Either something changed, either I'm really starting to like Codex now. So we have a lot of updates. This is getting reorganized. I didn't even build or restart yet. It's going to be released soon. A lot of updates. For example, Telegram now, you will be able to actually see all of your chats when you open Telegram, depending on what project you have focused. I think I actually need to, we need to dive into that as well. But I assume for now it's the focused one. But I have a feeling that we need to look at that separately. What else? If you are working with the orchestrator, context is important, right? So if you are working with Claude, I think everyone switched to 1 million context already, which means that working with the orchestrator, he will go up till he will reach 1 million. He will just keep orchestrating and get heavy, and it will be insane. But using compaction at 200,000 tokens, that's too early. And also, we don't even like compaction of Claude because it's kind of loose. So when you are working with the orchestrator with Claude, you either have to put it on 200,000 and just hope that the compaction will do good work, because by the time the orchestrator actually understands what he needs to do, it's already like 150 or 100 and above. So it's a problem. Compacting at 200,000, it's kind of early. So I found that it's best to work with Codex as the orchestrator because he's very efficient at it. He even likes to read the chats as they are going, and he still stays context efficient. Like, it's very impressive to watch. And if you want to orchestrate with Claude, I would suggest give him the 1 million context and then just tell him to hand off and stop when he's ready or something like this. But most likely he will forget about it. You need to babysit the process. You know what? While I'm thinking about this, I think a feature that we should introduce is compacting at 250, exactly like Codex does, and that's it. 250, maybe 300. Maybe you can set the compaction zone yourself, and that way the orchestrator will make sense. Because he gets the picture, gets organized, he's about 150,000, and then he has another 150,000 to orchestrate, then compaction, and then it can work. Let me actually open a new chat. Let's do it live, because why not? Hey Claude, can you please check if we can make our own compaction zones? For example, right now Claude compacts either at 200,000, either at 1 million. And while I'm talking about this, of course we can make our compaction zones. We have the compact button, so we can already decide when we want to compact. And we already track context, so it's pretty easy. And I will even tell you why we are doing this. It's because for the orchestrator, we need more context before actual compaction. So 200,000, it's not enough anymore, especially for big projects. And 1 million is too much. So like a slider that a user can set himself will be very nice. Can you look into it? What would it take? Right now I'm also churning through tests and seeing if I can remove some of the tests, because you know how agents like to write a lot of them and not all of them are even needed. We are removing the old voice engine as well. We also, a big update which I'm excited about actually is the orchestrator once again, and the mini chats, because the mini chats don't really need to receive the entire Valo prompt, which is this one, which is about 400 lines or something like this. It's getting heavy though. It's getting heavy for every turn, but it's fine for the main chat. It needs it to know how to operate everything. But even then, I will find time and try to go over it again and find places where stuff can go into hooks, into skills, maybe. Yeah, there is always room for improvement, but the biggest win is making sure that the mini chats are getting a condensed version basically of the Valo prompt, just the stuff that they need. For example, they don't need to know how to open a preview on the right side panel, because when mini chats are working, they are covering the right side panel anyway. Yes, you can switch to it, but I don't know. It's better to have them clean to just work. If you want to design or something like this, either do it with the main chat, either the instruction will already be to use Valo browser and show you the sketch in localhost or just in HTML or whatever. So yeah, that will be a great win, because instead of 8,000 tokens for the Valo prompt, they will carry much less. I think maybe like 3,000, 4,000, something like this, because they still need to know about the guards, about the permissions, about all of that stuff, about how things operate. What else? Now your agent can index the map himself, so your index actually stays current. Also, every time that the agent is querying the nerve map, which is the blast radius of your files, which we are also striving to arrive at a place where our blast radius for anything will be as small as possible. Basically, the modularity that we strive for, because then we can actually work on multiple stuff in parallel. Different agents can work on different stuff and it's not colliding with each other. So let's see, what would it take? Small feature, maybe 4 or 5 files. New per project setting. Wait, why is it per project? Moves with the project. I think it should be a global one, right? It's just like you go into settings and then you set your context here. This is a global setting, it's not a per. I guess, let me react in real time. So regarding number 1, if I go to settings and I go model and then Claude, it says extend context here. We have a toggle. So I think it should be there. Instead of just extend context, you will just have a slider and you decide how much context you want. So instead of on and off, it will be an actual scale, and that's it, a slider. And it will be global. We don't need it per project. Yes, saving it in the user data folder, that's the correct approach because it's a user setting. Number 2, slider in settings UI under a section like context or next to the model picker. Yeah, exactly what I said. We already have it. Number 3, wire it into the CLI spawn. So wait, do we need it only for Claude? Well, yeah, I guess so. Codex only has 250, that's it. And honestly, it's working fine. And we don't even need the 1 million. We are not really using it. Maybe sometimes, I'll tell you what. I would use day to day, I would use something like 400 or 500. And even then, I will not let it get to there. It's just like a safety window. Sometimes the session just goes, or sometimes it needs a little bit more time, and then it's fine. Then you can just tell it to hand off or compact manually, which I don't even do. I don't even use compaction. I think context trim, this skill, the Valo skill, works great, especially for beginners that need what they said and the actual meaning stay in the chat. Anyway, I'm digressing. Number 4, context string updates automatically. Yeah, great. Yeah, the context string update will probably be the hardest one. Or maybe not. Number 5, no changes to the compact button. Yeah, of course. The one constraint, the slider caps at the model's native window. You can't push past the ceiling, obviously. Only pull it closer to... only pull it closer. 200k model, max 200k, 1M model. Oh, that's a different model. Wait. But in the UI, we can make it like one experience. We can make it like one to feel... Maybe... Yeah, in the UI, you don't care, right? If you set it to 210, then it's the 1 million model capped at 210. The user doesn't care if it's a different model. You know, we can simplify it. We can make it much better. It's just a slider. Choose how much you want. Choose when the compaction happens, basically. That's it. That's the question. It's no longer a question of, oh, do you want 200? Do you want 1 million? No, just choose where the compaction happens, and that's it. That's the question. So, yes, let's build it. Now I'm switching to Opus 5. And yeah, let's do it. If you mapped it out already, let's go for it. And I think, by the way, to everyone who's watching, I think it's very important to react in real time to stuff that you're seeing or to stuff that you're reading. It's might feel like maybe it's messy, but actually it's not. The model can extract a lot of meaning from just reading you react to the stuff that it said or did. It's very important. It gets you to where you want faster. What else should I talk about? I think if you are doing web research, use Valo browser. Don't use the background agent that is doing web search because it's burning through context like crazy. I'm not sure about Codex. I guess we need to compare it properly. But I don't even want to do it because the context is being burned every... Like, look at this, 18% already. I started the video at 10 and I'm just working with one session. This is insane. The fact that you also have a 5-hour window. In Codex, you just have the weekly and that's it. It's... Yeah, what if I want to come and like really work for a few hours really hard and like with parallel sessions? Oh no, you can't. You need to wait for 5 hours. And then when you sleep, nothing is happening because you're asleep. Because making Claude work while you're asleep is actually kind of hard to kickstart. It feels like an old motorcycle, you know? It's like, come on, Claude, come on. Let's keep going, come on. Literally yesterday, I was like, okay, hand off. When you finish investigating and you feel tired, instead of stopping, just hand off. And no, it's like, no. Man. I feel bad because I literally started building Valo as a workspace for Claude. I thought, let me focus on Claude only. That's the best coding model. Let me invest in that. Like, let me almost invest in Anthropic in that way by creating an amazing workspace. Also with the proxy that actually changes the CLI prompt. So, for example, you can see here the best example, you're a partner that helps create, design, and build instead of you're a tool or something, whatever they are writing. So that's kind of the vibe. And then we also explain how to help the user and how to, for example, instead of a normal model will tell you, okay, go to this website, click this button, and then it's going to guess or just remember from training, which is old and irrelevant. Here it's much simpler. It just tells you, okay, get the API key, add it to the key guard, to the passwords. This is a password manager where the AI can't see the actual value. It can only use it. And that's it. Look, 41 passwords I have here. And it's so much better. You just give it the API key once, and maybe it sounds like, yeah, it's been solved already. Everyone knows about API keys. Yes, but everyone is storing them in environment variables, and then either sessions leak it by mistake, either it just goes to the Anthropic servers or OpenAI servers, and now all of your passwords and API keys and who knows what is pretty much on the servers there, and you don't know what's going to happen with it. Either it's going to leak, maybe it's going to get hacked, maybe they are going to lose it, like the keys to it or something. Stuff like that happens. So I'm really proud of this feature, and it works great. Tools as well. We even have allowed folders because we have a few options. We actually polished it, so showing it kind of early, but you have full trust and custom permissions and ask for everything. So when you are on ask for everything, it's going to be asking you permission to do everything. And then you can go and make allowed folders that are not going to, it's not going to ask you for the permission. Or you can do the complete opposite, which I like to do. I put it on full trust, which is basically custom permissions, because now you can go here in tool permissions and you can set what do you want the assistant to ask permission for. And same in the key guard, you can also set what do you want the assistant to ask. Like, do you want him to ask permission before he sends a Telegram message? If so, you turn it on. If not, you turn it off. And that's it. I turn it off, and sometimes I get Telegram messages, and it's kind of fun. And yeah, I can't wait to see it. To see it's actually working on Telegram. We basically have Valo on the phone now, because I didn't even realize that it's possible to do. Before that, I used to tell to the assistant, okay, hand off to a fresh session, tell the fresh session to message me on Telegram, and that's how I was opening a new chat. But now, the chats are already there when you open Telegram. That's it. And you can switch between chats and you can message. Of course, you don't see the history when you will open Telegram, but you can message that chat and it will be all be here. I didn't even realize how much functionality Telegram has. Well, to be fair, I didn't realize how much the coding models can do as well. I'm being blown away every day. So many ideas, so many stuff on the roadmap, so many Valo mails are coming. People are asking for features, for different connections, for stuff that I didn't even think about. Obviously, of course, like all of the stuff that you hear about, that you prepare towards when you are working, kind of slowly and surely you experience them yourself. And yeah, there's a lot, man. Look at the project. It's at 741,000 lines of code and documentation and tests. And yeah, there is of course a lot of here. Sorry, not a lot. Maybe 20,000 lines or something. It's flagged off features that we should delete because we have them in the Git history anyway. And maybe some tests that we are also working on deleting right now in this chat. Let's see, all 4 tasks done. Okay, fixed. And then we also okay, remaining let's see. Yes, you can still go. Just hand off when you're actually tired. Looks like you're at half context right now, so it's fine. And yeah, leave the heavy stuff and the guards and all of that for the fresh session. I will put it on Opus 5 on the bigger model. And let me know if we have any candidates for deletion, because probably we have too much of those tests. Especially they can write visual tests, which it doesn't make any sense. Like no one, especially because visual stuff changes a lot and no one is checking those tests. I mean, of course, we can make a hook or we can make it a rule, but it's easier to just see it with your own eyes. It's also how, a lot of the times, how I like to move. As you have seen in my videos, I just open a chat, ask it to do something, open another chat, ask it to do something, and just do a bunch of those and then build, restart, and keep going. I don't even check if it was properly fixed. I mean, I trust the agents, I trust all of that, and the statistics are pretty good. Somewhere around 75% it's actually done well, and then the rest of the stuff you just naturally encounter it when you keep working on other stuff. And there is so much. It's just the foundation. I also want to make the encrypted workspace, this in development for like months already. I really want to finish with this one. Then it's basically Veracrypt encryption inside of Valo just for your project, much more efficient than regular if you will try to encrypt the entire folder. And I don't even remember the exact design we came to, but it was good. That's what I remember. Uses Veracrypt for on-the-fly encryption. Yeah, that's why it will be faster. So that's pretty cool. Your workspace encrypted properly, keyguard passwords encrypted properly. Now that's a proper workspace. And yeah, also tab switching is much lighter now. The app starts much lighter now. Switching between projects as well. The map was eating a lot of the processing when we were switching chats and stuff. Now it just stays put properly. You can see also how many files are being waiting for the index. And honestly, I need to build and restart already because the layout here changed with the tools and stuff and settings. Need to check it out, but every time I have some new idea, something else that I need to do, or a Valo mail that I want to fix. Sometimes I'm about to release and then I get Valo mail and I'm like, okay, let's just sneak it in real quick. And then, of course, it's never real quick. It's always takes time, and then you're like, okay, let me do something else in the meanwhile, and then it's like a chain that never ends, man. Because ideally I would want to release every day, but not always I can. Sometimes it's just a lot of work, especially with the data layout migration, which, by the way, if you are using Valo for a long time, after the data layout migration, you will have a copy of the user settings and maybe even chats on your disk. And we decided not to risk it, not to delete it. So you will have a redundant copy, which you can pretty much delete with your own agent after we will finish with the data migration. And that's it. We can even write a guide on how to do it. And because I don't want to write anything automatic that will delete anything that is touching user settings or chats, because if anything will go wrong, this is the worst. I don't want to touch chats or user settings, nothing like that. And I don't think we are at a bad spot. It's not like, we are fine. We are still kind of at beta testing anyway, we can say. So it's all good, because after the data migration, that's it. It's all wherever you choose. Or if you don't choose, it will go to one folder anyway, but it will be on disk C somewhere at the default place. But whenever you choose, you can choose later, or you can choose whenever you install Valo. You can choose your folder. It's going to contain all of your user settings, agents and skills and settings and hooks and chats and everything, absolutely everything, the index, the map, everything. So you can just copy it to another computer, install Valo there, connect to your provider, and boom, it's just all there, like nothing happened. It's like crazy to me how it's not the industry standard. Like what? Like, and it can be even encrypted with your own password. Like, come on, it's going to be so good. I even forgot what what I wanted to say, where I was leading with it. So I guess that's a good time to stop. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you in the next one. I know this is not being like some substantial video, but I didn't record for a long time, and I figured I need to release something, talk about Valo, to let people know where we are approximately. And yeah, thank you for the feedback. Thank you for Valo Mail. I automated it recently because there is a lot, and I can't possibly have people expecting me to really give them answers every time. So I just automated it, and if you have questions that are direct, or if you want to talk about anything else, I'm more available on YouTube. That's where it also makes sense to grow the channel, the community on YouTube. That's where the discovery is. That's where all of that stuff. So Valo Mail is pretty much just for bug reports. So if you want to talk, if you want to ask something, just leave a comment. I read all of them. I get notifications for them. So yeah, catch you in the next one.